Please hold while I confirm your passcode. Thank you for joining Global Meet. Everyone will hear music until the host joins the meeting.
Medicaid. It is 3 o'clock on the dot. We're going to give everyone a couple moments to join. So those of you that are on the phone now, if you wouldn't mind placing yourselves on mute until we get going. Thank you.
I am the 16th person to join the meeting.
For the Division of Medicaid. Everyone on the line, would mind muting your phones, please. If you are going to go ahead and disconnect yourself and call back in after you finish the other call. That's the full music going right now. line who's on the call right now. If you have to place us on hold or take another call, please go ahead and just disconnect and dial back in so we don't get hold music again. Thank you. We'll get the call going just momentarily. Good afternoon, everyone. Again, this is David Welsh with the Division of Medicaid. Thank you for joining the NEMT COVID-related bi-weekly call that we have. I've got a short agenda today, but after we go over kind of the standing items, we can open it up for discussion. Just wanted to reiterate to everyone on the call today, we are still within stage 4. There are certain counties and cities that have put mandated mask requirements if you're unable to social distance. So I just want to go ahead and draw attention to those again. I really do appreciate everyone taking the appropriate precautions, and if you could please pass that along to your staff and drivers. We sincerely appreciate them following the CDC guidelines as well as our Central District Health guidelines, and we're starting hopefully to see kind of a plateau here again. I think in the end result, we absolutely need to find some type of vaccination for this COVID-19 related pandemic. So I think that, that's still to be determined. We're, again, still seeing some cases diagnosed on a daily basis as well as deaths around the community. So continued efforts to be safe following the CDC guidelines as well as the Central District Health guidelines and the information release that the Division of Medicaid put out. It's very important that we're all following those guidelines. So we wanted to provide an update kind of where we are in regards to trip volumes. So I don't know if Emilio or Ron, either one of you guys are on the call today, if we could get an update based on what we've realized since our last call 2 weeks ago, if we're still seeing a trend upwards across the state, or if we're kind of plateauing where we currently are.
Good afternoon. This is Ron. For the month of August, we actually saw the trips decrease by about 3,000 versus July. July, we had in excess of 85,000 trips. In August, trips that were in a approved to be paid or completed status totaled 82,000. So we did see a slight dip in those trips. We have, however, in the eastern half of the state, seen an increase in the number of schools reopening and adding additional legs to those trips.
Okay, thanks, Ron. So, maybe only time will tell, but maybe with additional schools opening, I know that all school districts are a little bit different around the state, whether they're doing, strictly online, or they're doing only in person, or they're doing some type of hybrid model. I would hope that as we continue to progress, we'll start seeing additional trip legs as a result of that. But if we're looking at August at 82,000 trips, and our normal pre-COVID was about 110, it looks like we're still about 28,000 below our pre-COVID normal, which I'm not sure if we'll ever achieve that again, but that's about the variance. Ron, would you agree?
That's correct.
All right, thanks for that, Ron. So I wanted to again touch base on. I'm not sure how many folks were on the last call, but we did discuss the bonus payment and how we were moving into a new state fiscal year. Therefore, we were going to be phasing that back out. The agreement that MTM had put forth was that once we got to this point and saw increases in the trip volumes back to a somewhat normal state, that we would pause on this. Ron, do you know if the last payment has been distributed? Did that go out at the end of August?
Correct. That payment did go out the last pay period of August.
Okay. Thank you. So again, that was the last payment distributed. We are going to continue monitoring trip volumes and working with our partners over at MTM to identify any changes in the future, but we definitely appreciate everyone's alignment with the guidelines that we're putting out and appropriate precautions that are in place. Again, I still think that this is a very challenging time for drivers, companies, for the state, as well as MTM. So we're all trying to partner together as we continue to work through this. The other item that I wanted to touch base on was PPE. We've reached out to a couple other state agencies to try to see if we could figure out any way that we could help provide some discounted PPE or access to free PPE potentially. We're still waiting on a couple responses. One of the things that we were looking at is to whether or not we would be able to support some assistance with PPE from MTM's perspective. Ron, do you have any updates on that?
So at this point, we have not been able to secure any particular contractors or suppliers to get that PPE out to the Idaho Transportation Group. That's not just indicative of Idaho, it's the entire NTM network in which we have not been able to secure a supplier to do that. So unfortunately at this point, we don't have any means or method to get any additional PPE delivered outside of what you prescribed previously.
Okay, thanks, Ron. So I've got a couple ideas on some. I think we've got some ability to purchase, but maybe we can talk offline a little bit and bring something back to the group next week about the potential ability for us to kind of work together on that. Because if you're unable to find suppliers, I think that we can solve that portion of the problem. So let's talk offline a little bit more about that. So that's really the update for PPE. Again, we're going to continue to try to figure out how we can help provide PPE to the NEMT network. Again, I know that's been a challenge in regards to an additional expense for you guys, as well as wanting to keep your drivers, yourselves, and our members safe by using the appropriate gloves, masks, gowns, etc. So we appreciate those of you that have kind of went above and beyond and looking at getting partitions and making sure that we're in compliance with those requirements that we put out. So those are the two items. There was one additional item. I know that actually, Ron, can we go ahead and talk a little bit about the credentialing requirements that were starting to be reinforced again, and just kind of give a high-level overview of the 9/1 date in regards to what is required this time for drivers what was previously suspended? Ron, if you're trying to talk, you're on mute, or I'm not sure if we lost you or something. I didn't hear a beep. Emilio, are you on? Or another MTM team member?
Sorry, David. Emilio's here. Can you repeat that one more time? I don't know what happened with my connection here.
Oh, no worries. So I just wanted to see if you guys could talk a little bit about, we provided some communications out to the network in regards to everyone getting up to date on their credentialing by the first of this month. And I just want to kind of recap that, make sure everybody on the phone was aware. I know that there's been several communications sent out to everyone as well as to individual providers about some of this stuff. So if you could just kind of recap that at a high level, that's all I'm asking you.
Yeah, so we did communicate that out, and the credentialing claims configuration was turned back on effective September 1. And myself and Crystal and Clint, the vendor account managers, have been in communication with providers that have had questions or concerns related to some of their credentials. So in terms of any additional information, we just encourage everyone to please continue to submit your credentials, and please be sure that you're only running trips with fully credentialed drivers and vehicles as well.
Thanks, Emilio, for that update.
Emilio,
All right,
I missed the first part, what you said. I'm sorry, I cut it out. Again, please.
Sure. So what I indicated on was just a recap of the credentialing piece, that it was turned back on effective September 1. And we've been in communication with several providers that have had questions or concerns related to the process, and the vendor account managers, Crystal and Clint and myself, have been working with some providers that have reached out to assist in clarifying or things of that nature. But we would encourage every provider to please only continue to run trips with vehicles and drivers that are 100% approved, to ensure that you do receive payment for those trips.
Thanks, Emilio. So those were the formal agenda items that I had on for today's call. I'm not sure if we've got other things that we wanted to talk about, or if there's any questions on what we've covered thus far. But at this time, I guess we can open it up for conversation.
Yeah, the website is still not functionally properly on the credentialing. I did send in an email to Emilio, which he said Crystal will assist me. But there is also things that will, on the, I think it was Sergey that had a problem with this stuff that will show that people are approved, and then when you go to the other screens, it shows that it's expired. So what has MTM done in the 2 weeks to fix that?
Well, I'm not sure specifically which instance you're speaking about in regards to Sergey's concern. I know that...
No, it's my concern too. It's my concern too, because on some page, when you put in there manage all credentials, some drivers shows up and it shows that they are approved, that there's no problem with their trips. And once you click on the driver, it shows that they are expired. That should not, that a specific credential is approved, and then when you click on the credentials, it shows that it's expired. So that can cause a problem that you don't pick up on people that have expired credentials.
Okay. Yeah, so for that one, I'm not... Yeah, for that specific instance, I'd have to look and see what exactly it's doing. But we would, if you can provide screenshots similar to what you did with the other one for the one that Crystal reached out to you about, then we can look at those as well.
Yeah, because I did supply a screenshot on the one that Crystal is to assist me. She did call me, but that is a dysfunction of the system. It's not my computer, it's a dysfunction in the NTM system, because it shows there delete credential, and whatever you do, it doesn't delete the credential. And you can do all the other credentials that way, but now someone else's, you need to do it in a different way. If they can maybe make it to where everything stays the same.
Yeah, I'd have to see specifically what you're looking at. As you know, there's a lot of different tabs within there that you can view for a specific driver or for a company credential, whatever the case may be. So there's some variances, and I'd have to look at that specific one to be able to identify what that is. So if you wouldn't mind sending that over, Elna, we'd be happy to look at that and address it as needed.
Thanks, Emilio.
Mm-hmm.
Did we have any other questions or comments about the topics we covered today, or about any other topics? All right, everybody's quiet today. I think we've got a little over 20 people on the phone. There's nothing else that we need to talk about?
No, I think we've got the credentialing thing under the knee after we were confused about what needs to happen. So, after my meeting with you, I do understand what is going on. If we can just maybe next time get the correct information, that will be helpful.
Well, it looks like everybody's wanting to start their Labor Day weekend. So I guess if there's nothing else that we to talk about today, again, I appreciate everyone joining. We did have a short call today. We'll go ahead and schedule our call 2 weeks out from today, and hopefully we'll have some additional updates on PPE and see what the trip volumes are looking like for September.
Thank you, David.
Yes, absolutely. Thanks,
Good
Elvis.
weekend.
Everybody have a good
Have a good weekend.
Thank you.